weapons. In other words, they've got tear gas in them or flashbangs. You can see pepper spray. Okay, now police are moving toward the crowd. Folks, if you're joining, we have breaking news. There's been another execution, another murder in Minneapolis. You're watching this live unfold. So while I want to stay here so we can watch this as it's happening. Canister of some sort is actually happening right now in Minnesota. The environment right now, the federal officers have now all put on masks. A little while ago, just a few of them had masks on. Now they're all masked. Watch this one here, preparing to fire a canister. You could fire one canister out of those weapons at a time, then you have to reload. So you'll notice that. Good morning, everybody. We have some breaking news. So the gas is blowing back on the officers, but they are all masked, so they're unaffected. This is live happening right now in Minnesota right now. After I just executed another, which you're not supposed to go, unarmed individual that was on the ground. The video is so horrific to watch. Pushing people further than that, which is generally speaking not an infringement on the law. If you're not interfering with that enforcement officer. What happened here? We do have video, and again, I will show it to you. It is terribly graphic, in which you see some sort of a scuffle involving federal officers and someone, and then you hear multiple shots. You can see it. Someone has been shot. That person who has been shot, according to the Minneapolis police chief, has died. Good morning, folks. I'll be monitoring. We'll put it on. We got Dean joining us shortly. I want to stay on here right now. This is unfolding as we're speaking right now live. Because I'm sorry I have to meet you. It's in the negative. They don't have badges to indicate who they are. You saw people holding up their cameras and recording and asking these people, "What's your name and badge number?" And not getting a response. There you go. That's a tear gas canister that was fired. Most of these officers, this is a tear gas gun, but the man with his gun up, that is not a tear gas weapon. That is a live fire weapon. You have not seen that used this morning. Those generally have bullets in them. Generally speaking, the guy on the left has a live fire weapon. He's pointing it downward. The other one is pointing it upward. The ones you're seeing, the short-nosed weapons, are for flashbang, bang, grenades, or for tear gas. You could see an officer throwing a grenade there, and then you hear it explode. So you saw him throw it. You saw it explode. That is meant to disorient protesters. The bang is very, very loud. The flash is very, very bright. You generally can't look at it. So you've got to sort of get out of the vicinity. Your hearing is usually obstructed for a little while. So the situation between the protesters and the federal officers seems to have settled for the moment. But as you can see, this continues to be a dynamic situation. The protesters were a little out of the shot at this point. Let me bring you up to speed while we're joining. Dean is going to be joining us shortly. We was supposed to be a happy morning with coffee and tea with LEV and Dean, but we have some breaking news right now. It's happening. We are going to also have Malcolm join us with Jacob Carsborough straight from Greenland. They're in Greenland right now, so we're going to have them join us. But folks, this is some terrible news. If you saw the video, it's literally another execution. I mean, there was like 6-7 ICE agents on one person on the ground, beating him, holding him, beating him until one of the officers just pulled out the gun and started executing it right there. I mean, there's no other word to use but execution at this point. Here, let's see what's going on. Let's see. What's happening over here on this side of the scene, Paul, if you could come along here, is protesters are chanting expletive ICE. They're saying, "We keep us safe." They've made, as we noted, a barrier of trash cans. There's a mattress to kind of separate the demonstrators from the scene of the crime. You can really smell the irritants in the air, even though that happened on the other side of the scene here. You just heard another flashbang over there, Cole, if you want to show. You can see the smoke right now.
in the air. It looks like there's some sort of clash between the federal agents and the demonstrators happening over there. Looks like some people are heading towards that smoke. And then if you look on the other side as well, your alley, there's
But G, the shooting hasn't verified and the individual has passed away. So this is another execution.
To be here for a long time, to voice their displeasure, to voice their frustration after yet another person has been shot and killed by federal agents. We're going to move back, Allie, because it is really picking up the amount.
Yeah, I want you to stay. You're going to stay safe. You're talking about these areas.
This is, folks, this is live right now. So let's watch. It's unfolding right now as we're watching it. Then we'll talk in a second. But this is happening live right now.
Tear gas
in Minnesota.
What are you sensing? Are you feeling? You say you can smell that people are moving towards you pretty fast. What's going on there?
Yeah, as you can see, there's a huge plume of smoke towards our right. So it's oh wow,
You're feeling it. That sounds like pepper to me. Yeah,
people are starting. Yeah, people are starting to move quite quickly out of the scene because it's getting quite uncomfortable. So I want to make sure our team is all safe here. But yeah, it's certainly escalated. I mean, now if you want to, I mean, it are completely engulfed in smoke and chemical irritant. You can feel it in your skin. You can feel it in your eyes. And people who are all right, well, the scene have now completely converged. Oh, look. There appears to be what looks like I don't know how to identify that properly. I'm gonna
yeah.
So yes, obviously an escalation of the tension here, an escalation of the non-lethal weapons in the area, and we have pulled quite far back, as have at least a couple dozen, if not a couple hundred protesters on this side of the scene. Now,
I saw somebody just on the right of this camera pouring sort of water into their eyes, which it's pepper, but it often doesn't, because the idea of pepper spray and tear gas is that they stick around for a while. We're seeing it blow. We do know, Alex, we probably have this information. We're going to hear from the mayor within the hour, probably in about 40 minutes or so. All the officials are saying that this was an officer involved, federal agent involved shooting, and the chief of police has said that the person who was shot has died. Are you getting that information?
That's what I've heard from my sources, and of course, we have not fully 100% confirmed that ourselves. What's also interesting is that the commander of the Border Patrol, Greg Gugino, and Marcos Charles, one of the leaders of ICE, were slated to have given a press conference at 11 local.
It's almost coming up. Yeah, it's 6 minutes away.
Yeah. So that should be coming up any moment now. If that press conference is still on, given this recent development, they are sure to either address or be asked a question about this developing situation. But what I will say is, what you have heard matches what my sources, which are ICE observers, which are people who are doing the very same work that Renee Nicole Gildy's doing when she lost her life, have told me for hours now. But of course, we need to wait for the official confirmation.
Let me ask you this, and again, Alex, I know the situation you're in, so there may be questions I have that you don't have answers to, but that's entirely okay. Do we know, was this the work of ICE observer? Were they already there for something, or is this crowd that's gathered around you there in response to the fact that there was a shooting, or do you not know?
So this is in response to not necessarily just a shooting, but also whenever there is a raid. So as you know, there's Signal group chats, there's WhatsApp group chats. This community is mobilized so that whenever there's word that ICE is in the area, people head to the scene to try to.
By the way, that's right. I wanted to somebody comment on there. I was going to talk about there that blew away very well. You caught that earlier, right as we were going live. Ali Vashi was there. They were right next to an ICE agent, and you heard them literally say, "Wow, this is so cool. It's like Call of Duty. These mother effers." I can't like literally. We have video of that, folks. On that, this is the way they're talking. Let's watch this. Dean's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Let's watch this unfold right now, live.
Fatal shooting here in Minneapolis. Alex, give me a situation where you are in terms of the
An ICE agent said that.
tear gas. That amount of smoke is always tear gas. It's windy, with blowing your way. Looks like it's cleared up a little bit. How is that affecting the movement of the protesters?
Absolutely right, Alec. The tear gas has appeared to have dissipated, and that means that the protesters have returned to this kind of barricade that they've created. You see people waving waving flags, rather, one red flag, another what appears to be a pirate flag, and the continuing of the banging of these dumpster trucks as people here want to send the message to the federal agents, ICE, get out of our city. That is the chant probably that I've heard the most. ICE out, ICE out. And I suspect we'll be hearing a lot more of those chants throughout this morning and afternoon, Allie.
Yeah, and I want to bring our viewers up to speed with what we are hearing from city and state officials. First of all, at 12:40 Eastern, 40 minutes from now, we are going to hear. Got another situation here. Let's listen in for a moment.
Stop! Look out!
I'm sorry, folks. My phone. Folks, I'm trying to get Zev. Everybody, this is breaking news. I'm doing my best so you guys see what's going on, but.
We don't need it, but we try.
Wow, what a scene in an American city in 2026 in Minneapolis. Confirmation now from the governor. I'm sorry, from the chief of the Minneapolis Police Department to the Minneapolis Star Tribune that the person who was shot by federal agents has died. This will now be the second shooting death by federal agents in Minneapolis. We have a lot of responses from various people. I want to stay very close to this scene. I'm going to tell you all what's happened. For those of you who are joining, I'm going to tell you what the scene is. We are around Nicollet, East 26th in Minneapolis, in which there has been another shooting that has resulted in a death. Moments ago, the Minneapolis police chief, as I said, Brian O'Hara, you've seen him probably a few times in the last few weeks, he did tell the Minneapolis Star Tribune that the man who was shot by federal officers has died. I'll show you the video, unfortunately, of this in a few moments. The crowd has gathered around the site of the shooting, which is it's 26th Street West and Nicollet Avenue. I said East. I meant West. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry said he'll hold a briefing about 30 minutes from now.
While this is while we have about 1,000 people here, let me show you the video because a lot of people might have not seen the video. And I ask of you, I'm warning, it is very graphic. So if you don't want to watch it, turn away now because this is very graphic. But before we continue, I want to show you the video of what. Oh, hold on a second. Of what transpired, so you understand exactly what is taking place right now.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me?
It's very hard to watch, folks. I just put it there so this way you understand what's going on. But they literally had 6-7 agents on the ground beating up this individual, an unarmed person, and then one of the agents pulled that gun and literally put 8 bullets in his head. Folks, 1 second, someone's at the door. I'll be right back with you. I apologize, folks. All right, we're back. Let me see where Dean is also, and we have Malcolm waiting for us from Greenland. Let me try to get Malcolm up here. Sorry, folks, crazy day, but this is just let's try Dean again. All right. Okay. While we're waiting for Malcolm and Dean, let's get back to the live covering.
I was trying to look at the victim in this point. When he's on the ground, I'm trying to see what his hands are doing because that's the most important thing. And at one point, he's on all fours, so you can see his hands. From what I could see, there was no weapon in them. Now, when he goes down and people get on top of him, what I don't understand is what did he do with his hands? If his hands went into his belly area, and someone thought maybe he was going for a gun, that could force deadly force. But also, before that even happened, I saw one officer that had his weapon out. And I've been in numerous arrests like this where someone's resisting to get handcuffed. If they don't have a weapon, I absolutely do not draw my weapon. I'm just like, you put it in a safe spot, and when you go into the person, you make sure that your weapon in its holster is facing away from them. And that's where all the training comes in. We train like that in FBI academies all the time of people that aren't armed that you're trying to handcuff that are resisting. It can be tough, but you do have to go through that. You have to really control, again, the arms first, the legs second. You designate someone to be on handcuffs to get that handcuff on one, or if you have flex cuffs. But some of the tactics that I was seeing were just horrific.
They be my brother. I don't know if you've heard the news, but we have some major breaking news right now. There's been another execution in Minneapolis. We're watching it live as it's unfolding right now. There's actually, right now, this is happening live.
People see this, as you said.
Can you do me a favor? Can you call Zev while we're in the background? See if maybe he can get up, because so we could get Zev. Maybe he could get there, because this is going to be.
Detained for?
Looks like that this is just starting, so we can get the right meeting.
Yeah, I just read it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. Sort of an auspicious start. We've got another execution-style shooting by ICE in Minneapolis, and all hell seems to have broken loose. I'm going to get in touch with Zev. If you could kind of give us the Coles notes, Lev. We've got just over 1,000 people in the first 2 minutes.
Hold on a second. This is live right now. They're actually using tear gas right now.
Okay.
We were just
You hold that.
Yeah, for a second, see what's going on here. We got a lot of photographers and a lot of ICE officials. All right, they're retreating now. The officials seem to have moved forward. The officers now they're going back to their original position. Tom, the DHS says the man who was shot, who we now know has died, was armed. So let's pick up the narrative from what Rob was saying. We see this video. If you take DHS's word that he was armed, help me make sense of what you saw in the video. So whenever you are in close quarters like that, the officers are trained to put a high priority on weapon retention. When you are wrestling with someone, you not only have to try and get them under control, you have to make sure that you're.
And by the way, I sent Malcolm an invite. Malcolm, no. So you want to pick up this way?
Yeah. So we just flipped that over to Jacob as well.
You want me to flip that to Jacob too?
Yeah. He's on a Danish frigate waiting for us to talk about what's going on in Greenland right now. Folks, if you just joined us, again, apologies, but welcome to Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. That is Lev Parnas, Lever members. Get some business out of the way before we get to the business of the death of the American empire, which we're watching in real time in Minneapolis. Another person was shot execution style by ICE. We'll get to those details in just a second, but please subscribe to levermembers.com. Please subscribe to deanblundell.substack.com. We're hopefully going to have Malcolm Nance. We will have Jacob Carsbo on the program a little later on today. Malcolm and Jacob are currently in Greenland Nuke. I am heading there tonight. I have to leave this Substack Live around 1 o'clock to get to the airport to stand with the people of Greenland and Denmark. But this is about saving America, and what we're seeing in this shooting that happened just under an hour ago on the streets of Minneapolis during a general strike by the people in Minneapolis. Over 1 million people flooded the streets of Minneapolis. The entire state shut down their businesses today to authorize a general strike to force ICE to take notice that the people of Minneapolis are done being treated like bait, slaves, and marks. They're finished being treated as if the people of Minneapolis aren't important to the fabric and the culture of that beautiful country we used to know as the United States of America, and hopefully still will know as the United States of America. But if you're just joining us, we had another execution style shooting. Lev has some details. Lev, what do you? I feel like I feel like a news reporter here, but we got to get to the details. What are the details that you know of right now? I know the details are scanned.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was just getting ready to do our show. My son called me and said, "Dad, I just put it out. They just executed another person in Minneapolis." And I sent me the video. When I seen the video, I was just horrified. And that's why I went live right away, because I saw the news breaking out. I figured while we were waiting for you, let the audience at least see what was happening.
Yeah.
But from what I'm hearing, basically, we don't know if he was armed or unarmed, because now we're having conflict at, DHS, which you can't believe, and you can't believe ICE, what they're saying, but they're saying that he was armed or unarmed. For those of you that saw the video, we just played it a couple of minutes ago. Basically, there was 6, 7 ICE or federal agents on top of this one individual. You saw them not only tackling him, but you saw them beating him from different angles, kicking him, punching him. And then at some point, one of the officers whips out his gun and just starts shooting away, and kept shooting. There you go. That's right. And just shoot exactly, as you can watch.
There you go.
You
Yeah,
can see
there's
them.
5, 6 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys wailing on this gentleman from Minnesota. That's when an officer, as you can see, pulled out his gun, and as he's on the ground, just starts filling him with bullets.
And that's the crazy part. I mean, it's one thing, he shot him, but then as everybody pulled back, he put another 3 or 4 bullets into him. While exactly, Angie, he literally unloaded his clip. You don't hear the actual sound right now in here, but he literally, I think it was it like 6, 7 bullets he shot.
I'm gonna get the sound up here. Just a second.
What?
Sound sucks.
Sound, yeah.
So you can see the officers tussling with this guy. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 officers. You got 1 legal standby. You got someone just walking by. They're punching him. They're kicking him. They're kneeing him in the back. This gentleman. And as you can see, this is where right there on the right. The officer just started filling it with lead as his back was to the ground. Sorry, as he was on the ground, struggling with these officers. He was then shot dead multiple times, as you pointed out. Unloaded the clip. We'll play that for you one more time. I think it's worth watching. I think it's very much worth watching. We don't know anything about the victim, just so you know, but there you go. That's the start of the tussle. They're beating him, hitting him, masks, no name tags, all in absolute impunity. He is subdued and tries to get up, and the officer who shoots him, you can see him sitting there punching him in the head with lefts. This is where it happens. Right there, pulls out his gun, bang, 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 bang. The guy is on the ground. No imminent threat.
There's no other way to call it but execution. I mean, literally, that's what it is. Dean, I just got just my son. I got to close the door. Oh, there's Jacob. I think is joining us. Perfect.
Okay. Hey, Jacob.
How are you,
guys?
Oh my God!
Hey,
Look
buddy.
how cool it is.
Good.
Oh my God. We're taking a break from the horrific. We just had another execution style shooting in Minneapolis. 7 ICE officers just shot a man on the street. So while that is going on in the United States and he runs roughshod over his own people, very different story over in Greenland. Are you on a Danish military frigate right now, Jacob?
Yeah, I am, as a matter of fact, because, we've been invited on board. There's a lot of stuff going on up here. It's a bit chilly, so I had to get my gloves on. but not to worry. But they actually have a public, where the public can visit the big ship here, and it's all a matter of public diplomacy, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's a tense environment that's easy to sense when you get here. And this past week for the Greenlandic people has been nothing short of traumatic, I guess. There was really a widespread fear of what would happen. Uh, so and still, I think most people are actually quite realistic about the threat. People are seeing what comes out of the White House, what came out overnight. This another crazy meme with Donald Trump and a penguin. And by the way, there are no penguins in Greenland. I guess most people up here would say if you could only focus on on Antarctica, where the penguins are, instead of Greenland, then people would take it, I guess. There was also a joke about these penguin islands where he slapped tariffs, whether that had made the penguins succumb to him,
Yes.
whether that was the meaning. But
yeah, Marshall Islands, right? He even fucking pinned the Marshall Islands. Jacob is part of the Save America movement visit to Greenland and Denmark, starting in Nuuk. You're there 2 days early. I'm going to join you tomorrow morning around this time. You and I will be thick as thieves. You met with Malcolm Nance. They had
he's here too.
Yeah, I know.
He's a former Navy guy, so he's all up about
he's geeking
the ship. Yeah. He's walking around with his Navy cap on, and I don't know what.
I'm sure he is. He's like, hey, look, hey guys, I'm home. But you guys were there a couple days early. The rest of the Save America movement team goes to bring a message and a massive ad campaign about darkness coming over Europe, again, specifically Denmark and Greenland with Trump's rhetoric. You've had a chance to talk to the people. You're going to take part in some exercises.
I'm just going to show you this.
Wow. Nuuk, Greenland. Look at that. What's the general feeling? Are people relieved? Are they cautiously optimistic, or is it hey, we need to continue to prepare because no one can trust a single word that comes out of fucking Donald the Orange's mouth?
Yeah, it is. It is that sense of a rupture, and for sure trust that has been broken. And as I put in my Substack earlier today, from Eric the Red to Donald the Orange. And that's more or less what people feel, and I think this military presence up here will be just beefed up over the course of the year. I got to tell you one thing. I had a cab driver pulling me aside yesterday, and he said to me, "Jacob, explain to people that there are 35,000 large caliber guns in Greenland, and everyone here knows how to shoot. And not only do they know how to shoot, they usually go out in their boats and shoot little seals. So that means they can actually hit stuff from 100 meters, just this big, like my glove here, from 100 meters on a moving boat. So these guys know how to shoot, and that was his message. We are 35,000 people up here that knows how to do this shit.
Yeah. Oh, and they're determined. I mean, this is the one thing that I think we need to offer the people of North America is a line of sight into the resolve of the people of Greenland. I mean, Denmark's pissed. You think Denmark's angry because of the rhetoric? How about the people of Greenland? I mean, it's truly remarkable. I'm interested in canvassing all the Greenland MAGA proxies and having a bit of an IQ conversation with them when I get there.
But they'll be hard to find because there's only one or two. In March, when they had the elections up here, the Independence Party got 22% of the vote, or 23, I can't remember. But I spoke to a local analyst, a local activist. He said if there were elections now, they will only get half. Why? Because these guys have been completely unrealistic about the threat from the U.S., and people are aware now that this independence stuff, this is not it. This is not what it's about. It's about doing what's best for Greenland, and that is to belong to the European unity and not all that nonsense. And and I guess with the Canadian consulate being opened here in Nuuk, also, that's something the people here will appreciate.
Actually, we're getting some really breaking news here in Minnesota. The scene's unfolding. It's getting really bad. There's now. There's more people showing up on the scene. I'm sorry to hear this.
Who are demonstrating against what ICE is trying to do. The administration keeps sending more and more ICE agents in. It's just
starting to build barriers.
Someone is going to have to make
Yeah, it's coming. It's amazing.
now we've got to stop.
How Donald Trump treats his own citizens and how he's trying to treat other citizens from other countries in the respect that the lack of respect. I mean, it's not just indecent what's going on in Minnesota, but while he's out there trying to woo the world,
Look at you.
It's Malcolm Dance.
Oh, Malcolm. The cameo.
It's actually warm here. Celsius, 29 degrees.
It's almost zero. It's almost zero there. Like, what people don't realize is how nice it is. Malk, you look so good. Listen, I know that you're geeking out in Denmark. We just had another
shooting
in Minneapolis. We had another execution style shooting. So we're going to go and.
I saw the shooting.
Yeah.
I'm going to comment on it later. It's crazy. It's crazy.
By the way, one of our subscribers sent us pictures of right before the shooting of the guy. So if you guys want to see.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna let you guys.
Yeah,
we'll
see
let
you
you,
tomorrow.
yeah, you got it. I'll see you at 10 o'clock.
Right.
We'll head back and check, and
we'll do a live tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys, because this is crazy what's going on over here.
Yeah, we got breaking news.
We'll see you, and we'll see you live at the clubhouse tomorrow, Dean.
You got it, Allied House, Save America Allied House. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Jacob Carswell, Danish Intelligence, former UN Security Council member, live in Nuuk, Greenland, with Malcolm Nance, part of the Save America movement. Dialogue bridge that we're creating with the people in Denmark and Greenland. And unfortunately, we had better designs to tell you about that. And folks, if you want to follow along, please subscribe. DeanBlundell.substack.com. Malcolm Nance, Jacob as well will be there. But there we go. What do we have here? We've got...
shucks. I'm not good, guys. I'm so sorry. But we'll get... Hold on.
Flip me the link.
Here we go. This is the pictures. Come on. One more time. Here we go. This is the actual pictures. You see scene by scene of what right before this is the person that they approached. He was protesting.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, ICE approaching him. And this is the guy that they put on the ground.
He doesn't have a weapon in his hands. That was what I said after they shot him. They said he approached them with a weapon. It looks like he's having a conversation with them. Looks like that conversation was not welcomed by ICE. They tried to tackle him, throw him on the ground, and then one of the ICE officers shot him like the fucking coward all ICE Gestapo members are. Right? I mean, that's what I see there. I could be wrong. Yeah. I was just having a look at some firsthand accounts. ICE, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, has executed a man in Minnesota, shooting him several times when he laid on the ground after they subdued him. Took 7 officers to do it. ICE's excuse and the Trump regime's excuse for this execution of a Minnesotan is that he had a weapon. We don't see a weapon on him in any of those pictures. Eyewitnesses said, indeed, the gentleman did not have a weapon. He was just talking to ICE officers, was saying things they didn't like. So now in America, according to eyewitnesses, according to the video that we've just shown you, we'll show it to you again, and according to another execution-style murder that happened in Minneapolis, on the streets of Minneapolis, at the hands of ICE Gestapo, Trump's own ICE Gestapo, we have another man who appears to be white, who knows. We don't know anything about him, get murdered, shot. As Lev has pointed out, the video that we just showed you, the officer emptied the clip into a man that was lying on the ground.
Oh, wonderful.
An American.
Actually, folks, we're gonna right after we finish coffee tea with Levandine, then we're gonna put Zev and I think Nick are putting together a live stream behind, or Shane, I'm not sure. That we're gonna do a live stream of what's happening in Minnesota. Well, they have better graphics because unfortunately I do not. I'm not a technology guy. But yeah, no, it's I'm a little bit shaken right now because you've got Nick. Nick, hey Nick, let me bring you up here for a second. Tell us what's going on. Let me bring Nick up. I got an invite to Mike Fanone also. Let me bring Nick up.
Yeah, Mike was absolutely spectacular at Jack Smith's testimony yesterday. If everybody missed it, Jack Smith just a couple days ago stood the test of time. Michael Fanone, under his breath, told Troy Nels to go fuck himself while he was coughing. Hopefully we can have him on. But if you're just joining us for coffee and tea with Lev and Dean, sort of took a dark turn right before we went on. We have another ICE execution of an American on the streets of Minnesota.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Nick.
Nick. Thanks for joining me, brother.
Just recapping, another ICE execution on the streets of Minnesota today. We saw one man get shot and killed several times, got shot several times as he laid on the ground. After this one man was subdued by what appeared to be 7 ICE officers. He was a protester. He was taking part in the general strike in Minneapolis today. Nick, what do you know, and what are you hearing in terms of who this man was, in terms of whether or not you can trust the DOJ's now seemingly shitty excuse that the man was armed and was going to shoot them? We don't see that in the pictures. We didn't see that in the video. What we saw was yet another man living in America freely get brought to the ground, beat on mercilessly.
It looked like he was protesting or standing there or something, and then they approached him, and then again, like everything else, went out of control. Good, Nick, what did you hear, brother?
Yeah, I mean, everything is, they're trying to escalate and go out of control. This is the next step, obviously, on the escalation path for internal and domestic policing and terrorizing, and thug Gestapo thug takeover. I'm not really hearing much new at the moment other than what's going on. I am broadcasting the status coup news reporting that's going on. Lev, Dean, both of you guys have invites for that. I've also invited Zev Shalev and Wajahat Ali to put a full group of us together. I know.
Awesome, Nick. Awesome.
That way we can get both video and streaming going. And if there's any links you guys or pictures anybody wants to have shown or are trying to get out there, send it to me, or send it to Banner and Backbones as a DM, and I will get those on the screen or posted during the coverage. This is another terrible day in America, in the fascist states of America right now. It's fucking awful. Dean, can you send me that?
Yeah.
Or a link to that, and I'll
I'll
put
just
it on the
send it to
screen
you
too.
on Twitter, as you can see that man get executed laying on the ground. He was on the ground when he was executed.
I'll send you a video with the volume right now, Nick.
Okay. And you guys should both in your notifications on Substack, you should both have an invite from Banner and Backbone.
Okay.
Or in your emails, so that
I'll be at,
we can get all of
I'm
us
going to need
on
a little
there.
travel time. I'm actually heading to Greenland to join the Save America movement today. So, when the nightmare continues and news breaks, we obviously have to interrupt certain aspects of what we do. That was going to be part of this conversation today, is heading to Greenland with the Save America movement.
We had a totally.
I'm so proud of what you guys are doing, Dean.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for doing that. I haven't said that yet. It's so amazing what you are all doing. Thank Jacob and thank Malcolm for me. You guys are patriots for your countries, for the world. Like, you're patriotic citizens just doing the right thing.
So showing up, right? Which is what the people of Minnesota,
which is all we need. We need people to show up.
Yeah.
And that's how we change it.
But it's also, we're seeing the end result of showing up in Trump's America. Renee Nicole Good showed up a couple of weeks ago, and she was executed point blank with a shot that went through her temple, exited the other side of her head, out of her side window after she was shot twice through the front window by an ICE officer. She was executed. Today, we see another man. We're just covering it right now. Breaking news: man executed. For showing up with about 1 million Minnesotans in Minneapolis to protest the Trump regime's heavy-handed abuse of Americans, peaceful, loving Americans trying to live, trying to eat, trying to support their families, trying to go to work, trying to protect their neighbors from the fascist takeover and the crystal knocked, which has lasted now a month in the beautiful state of Minneapolis with the people, Minnesota and the beautiful city of Minneapolis. This is a beta test, ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of the United States of America. We've been telling you that for a year. We've been screaming about it for a year. Every single man that is on this Substack Live right now, Nick Paro, the beautiful Lev Parnas, we have been trying to explain to you that this is the way it will go. They arrested 100 clergy yesterday in the United States of America, in Minnesota. They arrested 100 priests for trying to stop a deportation plane from heading to El Salvador to a fucking concentration camp. They're arresting nurses. They're arresting mothers. They're using 5-year-olds as fucking bait. Ladies and gentlemen of those United States of America, it is here. Martial law is here. The dictator has taken off his mask and he is showing you who he is. And today we got another nuclear example of that with a man in Minnesota not more than an hour and a half ago getting executed after he got beat by 7 different ICE Gestapo goons. Full clip unload into this man that was laying on the ground who is now dead. What say you, America?
This
Guys,
also,
give me a minute. I'm going to go make a phone call too. Let me
Yeah.
see if we get some information from us. What's happening in the White House?
Yeah.
Right now. So I'm going to step away for a second, guys. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And this too, we need to make sure is very clearly stated, because every American has a Second Amendment right to defend themselves in their home and their safety. I want to applaud again every single one of these protesters that are out there right now for the incredible restraint that they are holding right now. No protester has used violent means back. The words hurt. Oh, fuck you, ICE. Too fucking bad that our words hurt your fucking feelings. You're killing us. Fuck you. Fuck you. Words are meant to hurt, and they should hurt, because you're pieces of shit and you deserve to have the insults thrown at you. But you know what? All of those protesters are peacefully responding. None of them are shooting. None of them are attacking. None of them are harming. So fuck all the way off. This is beautiful. The protesters, you are citizens and patriots doing the right thing. Do not allow your emotions to get the most of you in this situation. For everyone on this stream, do not allow your heightened emotions, to get a hold of you and make you do something stupid. Now is the moment to stop. Now is the moment to hold yourself.
Guys,
Now we have
I'm sorry.
violent
Oh, they got
response,
somebody
because that's
right
what
now.
they
This
want.
is breaking right now. They got somebody else. They just put their
Yeah, this is I'm streaming
Wait, they
this on
shot
banner and
somebody
background
else?
right now too.
Did
So
they
if you
shoot
want to
somebody
switch
else,
over to
Lev?
that.
No,
Hold
no,
on
no.
just a
They're he's screaming, "I did nothing wrong," and they're tackling him right now and beating him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is happening live right now. What Lev is showing is happening live right now. And Banner and Backbone is showing it right now on Substack and YouTube using the Status Quo News. That's like, this is happening right now. They are escalating to try and incite a violent response right now. They want a false flag from Minnesota, because this is ICE escalating. This is what we did to Venezuela for months. This is the same tactic when we bombed boats in Venezuela or in the ocean for months, and then we went and kidnapped a dictator. Now they're going to do it to Governor Walz. This will lead, if violence happens, this will lead to the ICE agents, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they will try and arrest Governor Walz. if this leads to violence. So Minnesota, continue to have the restraint that you are having.
Let's see. Many
Are you guys? Is everybody watching this?
I can't even believe this. This is America we fucking live in. I can't believe this.
difficulty in understanding what
Yeah. This is America, y'all, right now. This is not a foreign country. This is not a foreign dictator oppressing. This is not Iran. This is not Russia. This is Minnesota.
Downtown Minneapolis. These are
Yeah.
the Twin Cities. This is the heartland of
It
the
is
United
negative
States
15
of
fucking
America.
degrees there.
There is a deep freeze, and 1 million people have shown up. 1 million people have shown up. And now ICE is attacking people in the crowd for exercising their First Amendment right to speak freely against the United States government, the fascist United States government run by a fascist dictator, an authoritarian dictator, a man with the moral compass of a fucking serial killer, a man who has been credibly accused of rape 31 times, a man who is deeply involved in the Epstein files, a man who
I'm gonna get on the call. I'll be right back. Let me go do this.
yeah, do your thing. And right now, and I can't help but notice the timing of this as we prepare to head off to Greenland here in the next half an hour with the Save America movement. I cannot help but notice this comes at a time when Donald Trump's influence abroad has completely fucking collapsed. I cannot help but notice this comes on the heel of Donald Trump being soundly rebuked by the European Union, by the Prime Minister of Canada, who he's going after right now on Twitter. I've got a post about it on Truth Social. I've got a post about it on deanblundell.substack.com. Not only is he going for broke, this is a man who is off the fucking chain. The cheese slipped off the cracker a long time ago, mentally, physically, and emotionally. However, this man has never been weaker. Donald Trump has never been rebuked by the world community like he was this week. Donald Trump has never been openly laughed at by world leaders and business elites like he has this week. Donald Trump has never, ever received a rebuke like he received from Canada's Mark Carney, who broke Donald Trump. And what does Donald Trump do to respond to the loss of reputation on the world stage, to the end of the empire and his bullshit fucking fascist influence? He attacks his own people. He goes after his own people. He didn't just murder Renee Nicole Good. He didn't just use 5-year-olds and 9-year-olds as bait and slaves to go after people, Americans, legals, migrants, legally allowed to be in the United States in Minneapolis this month. He co-signed the murder of the man that we just watched get shot 7 times by an officer as he laid on the ground, exercising his peaceful fucking right to protest. His First Amendment speech, protected speech. He was shot for it today. Renee Nicole Good shot for it the other day. And it doesn't matter. Like, listen, legal observers are now on the terrorist watch list because of this. Yes, go ahead. What do you got?
All right. So right now, they are actively discussing the insurrection law, folks. Right now, actively is being discussed. They're being monitoring and watching to see how this unfolds to be able to send in more troops and then invoke the Insurrection Act. They're going to double down and blame Waltz and blame Freight for what's going on. This is basically what I just heard is really shaking, folks. This is about to turn really ugly. And
So what I just said, they're going to try and arrest him. They want to arrest. They basically want to arrest Walz as an example. The prior VP candidate. They want to arrest the prior VP candidate for an insurrection act based on ICE inciting violence and American citizens restraining themselves from violently responding. We live in a country with 400 million fucking guns, and these citizens have not shot back once. 1 million of them. There are 1 million people in fucking Minnesota right now, in Minneapolis, protesting. Not a single one of them has fired a gun at an ICE agent after they shot one of us. They're killing us.
They're killing us.
That's what they want.
Literally executing us in the middle of the street.
Mm-hmm. Mhm. Mhm. There's no difference. There's no difference to North Korea. There's no difference to China. There's no difference to Russia. There's no difference. That is what we're looking at. And Lev, I'm going to ask you this. You just got off the phone with your source. This push to agitate and this recent execution an hour and a half ago, and folks, kid gloves when you watch it. It's very, very disturbing watching this man go from peaceful protester to dead protester in a matter of 30 seconds. Um, and it's not just him being shot. It's not just him being beaten. There are literally 1 million people on the ground during Minnesota's general strike to try to affect change and protect their neighbors. But what you're saying is your sources said they are ratcheting this up. They are agitating on purpose. They are shooting and beating people on purpose for the expressed reason that Donald Trump is going to justify martial law and hit and tag the Insurrection Act just in Minnesota.
Well, they're right now. What actually, just to confirm from what I just spoke, literally right now they're having conversations. They're watching this play out. They have given orders. The orders are to be aggressive, and right now they've already announced that this is an unlawful gathering in Minnesota. So they've already announced. So now they're going to basically give them the orders to be able to you're starting to see them arrest other people, starting to use a different type of weapons, grenades, bang grenades and pepper spray. And yeah, so you're starting to see it play out. And again, they're watching this like a reality show to see at what point do they pull the trigger and send in the guards, take away the power, just like Nick said, do an actual coup inside of our own country by taking out the governor, mayor, attorney general, and inflicting federal law and putting the federal troops inside of a United States state.
I read too. That's incredible reporting, Lev. Thank you. I also read too. Correct me if I'm wrong. That Donald Trump wants to install a new governor and mayor in Minnesota and a new attorney general. He doesn't he just wants to install somebody. I don't know how the process works in the United States.
Interesting. I'm not sure that's how the Constitution works in the U.S.
I don't believe it does,
especially in each state. It's interesting.
Yeah,
how
but
these
dude, if he
states'
can put
rights
Alina Habba
people-
in charge of the New Jersey, and she's illegally in that position and has been for a year, if he can
Yeah.
put fucking Kash Patel at the head of the FBI, chances are he's probably going to be able to figure out a way to get his Project 2025 cabal of fucking freaks and incels to install a new governor, mayor, and attorney general in Minnesota, Nick.
They could try, but I keep saying this, once you get to the point where you're going to try and install a governor, even those who say they like dictators aren't going to like that. They're not going to like that. This is the tipping point, folks. This is them trying to start a hot civil war. I'm not going to cow my language or for anybody. We are in a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
We have been for a long time.
Yep.
In the history books, they're going to write down from the insurrection on January 6th, 5 years ago, is the start of the new civil war. It was the start of a new civil war in the U.S. I'm not going to cow that. I'm not going to soften that language. That said, it's still a cold civil war in many, many, many ways because we are not attacking. This is the moment. You have to stand up right now. This is the fucking moment in time before it becomes a real hot civil war. And I don't know what to say to calm some of your nerves on the idea that they want to take a governor and the assistant governor, whatever they call themselves these days,
Deputy governor,
deputy governor, whatever they want to be. You can't just do that. You can't just do that. Again, we're a country where it is baked into our DNA that citizens have a right to defend themselves. It is.
And
What do we do? What you do right now is you don't do something stupid. You take a deep breath. You stop. You think. You call your representatives.
I'm hearing that there's gonna literally in the next 5 minutes they're going to put a full blown blitz on right now. Let's try to see if we could watch this live play out. What's happening there? Because I'm hearing
full-blown ICE Gestapo blitz, like they're gonna go right into the crowd with weapons and guns, and here we go.
Armed struggle are forthcoming, fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers. An agent fired defensive shots. Medics on scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines and no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. About 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement on the scene. Crowd control measures were deployed for the safety of the public and law enforcement. The situation is evolving and more information is forthcoming. Hold your thought on that for a second. We have a comment from Border Patrol that says Border Patrol agents are trained extremely well to protect themselves, their fellow agents, and innocent third parties. When a supposed peaceful protester brings a weapon, such as a loaded handgun, and brandishes it, there are going to be severe consequences and repercussions. We have pleaded with and warned the media and the politicians that they're irresponsible.
There you go.
And
politicians.
Get people unnecessarily hurt, worse, killed when they portray our agents and officers as the aggressors. They have encouraged these reckless confrontations and attacks on our agents and officers who are performing their lawful duties and enforcing the laws that Congress has put on the books. The fake and dishonest media and the shameless politicians should be held accountable for willfully misleading the public and enticing these protesters and agitators. We have full confidence that when more facts are revealed, our agents and officers will be shown to have utilized justifiable force in eliminating the threat.
Yeah, that threat we just watched. We just watched the video of that threat. By the way, that threat was laying on the ground after getting beat by 7 ICE officers. Sorry, Lev, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Nick, while you're watching on the side, while we're talking, keep an eye on, because I just got a call saying that they gave the order. Literally, Miller gave the order that they're within the next 5 minutes to clear out. An unlaw is that they're gonna clear out. So just if you see it, let us know. I'll put it up right away. But it's unfolding.
It's interesting because there were competing sentiments in the comments. One from ICE and the other from Border Patrol. Border Patrol, yet another fantastic propaganda-filled reason for executing another American, saying he brandished a gun. ICE's statement right before that was he only had 2 magazines of ammunition on.
Right?
No
Did
ID.
you hear that? Did you hear that? Right, exactly.
So, like, you're already getting the lie mixed up, you guys. Holy fuck. What we saw in those pictures, I don't know if you have them still, Lev.
Yeah, I got
was a protester standing there with his fucking hands out, having a conversation. These are the pictures right before the man was beat by 1 against 7 ICE officers. And then once he was subdued, on the ground, shot several times by 1 cowardly member of ICE.
So these are you could see the different clips. In the first clip, you see right here, they're approaching him. Right here, they're approaching him.
He's got his hands up.
He's got his hands up. And when you see all of a sudden, then it gets in. You see a confrontation. They get in each other's face, and then they take him down.
Yeah. Hands up. Hands up, don't shoot.
I just put the video up to submit it. It's only 20-something seconds long. You can see at second 19 is where the fucking ICE agent just unloads a clip. That is not how you are trained.
Is that defensive? You're a firearms
expert. That is an offense.
Unloading your fucking sidearm into a guy's chest when he lays on the ground. Do they teach that in defensive maneuvers when you're learning how to discharge a pistol in the Army?
No.
Okay.
That is actually exactly the opposite of how they teach you. In fact, they teach you to shoot 2, maybe 3. You shoot twice. You shoot chest and head if you're going to kill somebody in defense. This dude attacked this man. This dude murdered this man.
Executed.
Do not shoot a full clip of ammunition into someone point blank. Yeah, they think this is Call of Duty. They are playing real life Call of Duty. That's what they
You hear
believe
that
this.
comment? How sick was that comment, Nick? I mean, it was caught on a hot mic where ICE officer saying, "How cool is this? This is like Call of Duty. Let's get
Uh-huh.
those ammo."
This is
He said that?
the
A nice
fascist
officer
states
said
of
that on
America.
camera after this happened? This is how cool is this? This is like Call of Duty? He said that?
He said exactly on a hot mic. One of the ICE officers is basically saying, "Wow, how cool is this? This is just like Call of Duty. Let's go get those MFers." Just like that. While Ali Vashi was reporting it, we have it live. I think while we were playing it, so we'll get a clip of it.
Move forward. So
I don't know what to say. I mean,
Yeah.
never traditionally at a loss for words, obviously, but I literally do not know what to say.
I want to give people like something to latch on to positive right now, which is love your families.
Yeah.
Take a moment while you're at home and call your friends and call your family members and text them. Just text. If you have a family group chat, just text them. Or if you have a friends group chat, text them and say, I love you. Hey, I love you. Care about you. Just go spread a bunch of love because right now is going to be a really scary time.
Listen, I think it's really
yeah.
important. It is, it is a scary time, and you should always do those things. To your point, Nick, and I appreciate it. But this is the last gasps of a guy who was absolutely fucking humiliated this week. All cruelty springs from weakness. Donald Trump was unmasked as the weakest con man in America's presidential fucking history this week by world leaders, by Mark Carney. He lost Greenland, pretended that was a win. Now he's threatening Mark Carney over the Golden Dome and a relationship with China, and he's off the fucking hook. He was summarily embarrassed. He looked old. He looked lost. He was broken in Davos. And what does he do when he comes home, Lev? He beats his own people. He shoots his own people. You know who does that? An alcoholic, abusive father who goes out, he has a shit day, and he comes back. And what does he do? He beats the family. That's what Donald Trump's doing. That's all Donald Trump is. He's an abusive, shitty, evil, narcissistic, antisocial asshole who has all the markings, according to Susie Wiles, his chief of staff, of one of those alcoholic, abusive fathers who goes out, has a bad series of days, and who does he take it out on? The American people. But this is strategic as well. He wants this. He needs this. He knows that he's fucking finished, not just on the world stage, but he's finished at home. So what does he do? He employs dictator, fucking fascist, authoritarian thuggery 101. And he starts killing his own people.
Look at this equipment they're starting to put in there. Look at this, what they're starting
Oh, it's happening, yeah.
They are militarized. That's what this is.
Exactly, militarized.
And they are purposely raising the tensions. If you notice, all of the citizens around are not armed. None of them are armed. All of them are wearing winter gear because it's cold. And that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
They've got cameras. They've got their bullhorns, whistles. They don't have guns. They're not inciting violence, but ICE is. Federal government is. And I like what you said, Dean, is this is the last gasp of a dying dictator, because what this means is if the American people stand firm today, if the American people can continue to stand firm through this false incitement of an insurrection, he will look like a fucking fool. He will look like a toddler. He will look so tiny. His micro ego will never be able to be found again. You will have to take a microscope to find that micro ego, and you will
I don't even think
still
he has
never
that
find it.
gear, Nick. I don't even think he has that gear. And Love knows him. He doesn't know embarrassment, right? He just knows the anger that comes.
He's going to keep
Yeah.
going, but it's going to embarrass him. It's going to embarrass the Republicans who are around him, who do care because they want to remain in power.
Do you think
They
that'll
know.
change? Do you think that'll
I
change,
think
Lev?
I
Do you think the Republicans are going to go, okay, that's enough?
No,
Execute
no,
this?
no. You know the sick part, Nick. That right now, like I've already looked at a couple of my text messages, like the shit that's being said and done. It's like I'm literally at a loss for words because they're flipping this around. This is they're saying this is not an execution in their words. I especially put Fox on right now to see how they're reporting it. They're reporting it as an organized, what's it called?
Domestic terror entity?
Domestic terrorist attack where he brandished a gun, where he came there. And what do you expect when you walk out and you start brandishing a gun in front of federal agents? He deserved what he got. And I mean, now basically they're set there. Oh, we have a breaking. Okay, here we have a news conference, folks. It's some of this.
3 a.m. this morning, Minneapolis police
I'll show that on Banner and Backbone too.
areas East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen.
Are you kidding? American citizen.
Shot and killed an American fucking
Another American citizen.
another one.
A white male American
On
citizen,
social media.
37.
Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands. We urge everyone to remain peaceful. We recognize that there's a lot of anger and a lot of questions around what has happened, but we need people to remain peaceful. In the area, we have an unlawful assembly at this time. Minneapolis police have given multiple warnings for the crowd to disperse. We are asking for people to avoid the area and to leave if you are there. We've requested mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and from all our local and county regional partners. We ask everyone to remain calm and to please do not destroy our own city.
Mayor Fry.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, I've seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. Just yesterday, we saw 15,000 people peacefully protesting in the streets, speaking out, standing up for their neighbors. Not a single broken window, not a single injury. Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself. So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again. To make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. What did you do to protect your city? What did you do to protect your nation? This is not what America is about. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart? The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be. So, to President Trump, this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis, put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these federal agents. Director Sayre.
My name is Rachel Sayre, and I am the Director of the Emergency Management Department for the City of Minneapolis. I took this job to keep us safe because I live here, and this is my community. We are doing everything we can to mitigate the impacts of this terrible situation. The city's Emergency Operations Center continues to be activated, as it has throughout the surge in federal agents over the last few weeks. We are tracking impacts and coordinating the city's response to this situation, which is having profound repercussions in our community. I can't underscore enough how much Operation Metro Surge is impacting our city. Families with loved ones detained and those who are afraid to be in public lest they become targets need help accessing the most basic necessities like food, housing, and rides to school. Businesses are shuttering and our local economy is severely impacted, which means families are suffering, just as we were rounding a corner in our recovery. Many of our Minneapolis residents, my neighbors, my friends, my community members, are ceasing participation in public life, afraid to even go to the doctor. In response, the city enterprise continues to utilize our entire emergency apparatus. That means staff across departments, often around the clock, are putting their regular jobs on hold in order to respond to the impacts of Metro Surge. I want everyone to know there are numerous resources available to community members right now. We have mental health help available. We have food assistance, housing and rental assistance, legal help. We are sharing information about what to do if you are exposed to tear gas, pepper spray, or other chemical agents. And the state AGs and ACLU are collecting reports of rights violations. You can access these resources on the city's virtual resource center at minneapolismn.gov/ice. Please share this information with your neighbors. We have help. I want you to be able to access that.
There you go.
Background is an international humanitarian response in conflict zones in Yemen, Haiti, Syria, Iraq, and Ukraine. What I've seen here is what I've seen there. A powerful entity violently and intentionally terrorizing people, making them afraid to go outside so they can't earn a living, so that kids are forced out of school. This has a lasting generational impact. People can't plan a single day of their lives because they don't know who is around the corner and if their family member or neighbor is about to be taken away. In these times, you see both the best and the worst. The worst is the terror and the feeling of helplessness. The best will continue to be our community's response. The way we are showing up for each other, that is in the absolute worst of times. We're showing up for each other in the absolute worst of times. I'll turn it back to the mayor. Thank you.
We'll open it to questions.
Yes. An incredible volatile situation unfolding right now around that scene. Is there any communication right now? For where do those efforts stand to try to calm what's going on down there right now?
I'll turn it to the chief to answer.
So the question was, there is an incredibly volatile scene in South Minneapolis right now, and the extent of communication with law enforcement agencies. We've established a command post that is led by Minneapolis Police, and there are representatives from all of the regional, county, and state organizations. We have had communication with Homeland Security. They have not been able to provide us any specific details around the incident itself. We are responsible for ensuring the safety of people on the streets of our city, and we are doing everything that we can to maintain the peace right now, led by Minneapolis Police, but with the help of the Minnesota State Patrol, Hennepin and Ramsey County Sheriffs. Several suburban towns are in the city helping us with 911 calls. We have done an emergency recall of all sworn personnel back to duty. We are working with the fire department right now to ensure that 2 small fires that were started in the area are safely extinguished. But again, we need everyone to avoid the area if possible. And the people who are in the area, we understand your frustrations. This is not sustainable. We need people to leave the area at this time. We have communicated with the National Guard. They have been on standby for several days, and we have ensured the National Guard as well as all.
And Lev, do you want to switch this over to the banner and background one, and we'll.
Yes, as soon as we're done with this wrapped up, I'll flip it over.
Yeah.
Statement and
Because we have to go also.
the 9mm semi-automatic handgun seen here. They showed a picture of it. The officer attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle will come forthcoming. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid. Is that what happened?
So Minneapolis Police, the question was, you read a statement from DHS saying that a weapon was presented and there was attempts to disarm the person. Again, like I stated earlier, Minneapolis Police, as well as our supervisor and watch commander, responded to the scene. We were not provided any public safety statement around the incident, what happened. We have since seen a video that is circulating online, like thousands of other people have at this time. So we do not know what happened prior to the recording that is online right now. I immediately called for the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension to respond to conduct an investigation. They are.
We lose audio?
First.
Lost audio.
Yeah.
Just to give people, we'll recap while we try and figure it out. That is the press conference going on in Minnesota. Mayor Frey is got his city controller, the chief of police, that are currently going over the details of the latest. If you're just joining us, a 37-year-old white American protesting in Minnesota during their general strike was shot and executed by ICE officers.
There was MPD cut out of this investigation. Has the PCA been cut out like we've seen from the two previous shootings?
Dean, have you seen if they've released those victims' names?
Cut out.
No.
As I stated, I immediately requested the BCA to respond. It's my understanding that they are on the scene. I have not heard anything otherwise. There was initially some information that was relayed to me over the radio that our officers were told that they were either not needed or could leave. And I gave a direct order to ensure that Minneapolis police maintain the scene as well as other state and local law enforcement.
Oh,
Guys, you hear that shit? They told them that do not bring state police there. We got it. They're not needed on the.
So the question was,
and the Minnesota chief said, no, we're staying. And he told them to hold their positions and maintain the scene.
That
is huge.
Make sure that it's our understanding and there's more than one law enforcement officer involved in the discharge. And again, there's a public video that shows several law enforcement officers in a scuffle with someone.
Can you talk about the discrepancy? Initial reports said that the victim here was 51 years old. What information do you have? Where's that from?
So the question was, initial reports said the victim was 51. The information that I have is we sent Minneapolis police officers to the hospital with the individual who was shot, and they have since identified that person.
Two more questions.
There you go, Nick. They've identified him only to say he's a 37-year-old white American who was shot.
Top ICE and Border Patrol officials to ask them to please.
It's a shame that we don't know his name, but I'm glad we don't at the same time, because that family should have time to grieve of the loss of their son, their brother, their husband, their spouse, whatever that may have been to somebody else. That man's not coming back.
I guarantee you that that you're gonna see the far right leak his name, and they're gonna try to build a character assassination.
Trans, gay, Antifa.
I hope if he has a family, or if his family is they get in touch with someone like the ACLU and they immediately sue for defamation if those things begin, because that's how we can also stop this. Is they can't do the propaganda if they're in court defending against propaganda or have court orders saying that they can't do it, and then they keep getting fined. Eventually they will stop. Like, we have to come at them hard, and we have to support this family. We have to support all the families that are under assault right now.
100%. Listen, folks, we're gonna wrap this up here because we're gonna switch over to Nick's Backbone. We're gonna be live streaming it on Substack. So everybody, we have close to 3,000 people here. Make sure to switch over. I'll be joining in a little bit. Also, I got a lot of phone calls to make. My phone is blowing up, text messages. I want to make sure to find out what's going. So we'll give you the latest and the breaking. But I just want to say this, folks. Just like Nick said earlier, this is a very sad moment in our country right now. It's a sad moment. Everybody, please take a moment for a second, say a prayer for this man's family. We've again have an American citizen that have been executed by federal agents today, currently, and right now there's a scene that's being taking place right now in Minnesota that is very dangerous, because right now, as I've reported earlier, we got Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, and others that are watching this play out, as Kristi Noem, and they're watching for the right moment. I'm hearing today might be the day that we will hear the Insurrection Act being implemented, depending on how it plays out. So stay tuned, folks. Dean also is going to today we had a special show for you. Unfortunately, we had a special show with Malcolm Nance and Jacob Scarborough, Dean from Greenland. But we're gonna put that on hold. Dean's gonna have a safe flight, my brother, to Greenland. It's extremely important what you're doing there. Hopefully, once this goes down, we'll go live tomorrow from Greenland and give the people a little bit percent. But today, it's extremely important what's going on. And some people said about the Krasensteins, that's a whole nother issue that we're going to talk about with Elon Musk, and now trying to go after the Krasensteins because they asked him a simple question. This is all playing in, folks. This is all about shutting us down, shutting our voices down, making sure that we're not able to see what's going on. So that's why now, more important than anything, the one thing I'm going to ask you is hug your loved ones. Today is an important day. Text somebody, call somebody, hug somebody. But today, let's try to stay calm. Let's try to get through this because it's going to be one of those days, folks. So stay tuned. Nick, Backbone?
Yeah, Banner and Backbone is hosting right now. And so I'll drop the link
Head over
again in
there.
the chat here for anyone. It's the live stream link, but it's also just check your feeds on Substack. We're live right now. We've got almost 300 people there. Help us get up to 2,000, 3,000. Like, we need all the visibility on this as we can, because now is when we have to be engaged. Like, not tomorrow, not tonight, not in a month. Now,
Make sure, folks. I will be on Nick's Backbone in a little bit. I'm going to make some phone calls. I'm going to get the latest news, and then join me there because we will be breaking news all day long. We're seeing what's happening in the White House and what is taking place right now. This is an active, fluid, moving situation. Good.
Kinetic. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Everybody go to Banner and Backbone when you're done. Give Nick, hit that Chiron at the top. Give Nick and Lev remembers to follow Nick Paro, Banner and Backbone here on Substack. That's where you can follow it for the rest of the day. I'm going to head to Greenland. I got to go jump on a plane now. But I will be back here intermittently throughout the day to support the Greenlandic/Danish people with the Save America movement. Follow along, subscribe, free or paid, doesn't matter. Paid is always welcome. It gets all that information to the top of the algorithm. So Patriots do what Patriots do. They're doing it in Minnesota. Continue to show up, be peaceful. We're going to do what we do for America and head to Greenland to stand with Denmark and our allies and about 300 million Americans. I want to thank Lev for having me on Coffee and Tea yet again. It's my favorite hour, generally speaking. Some heavy shit today, and thank Nick from the Banner and Backbone Network. Give these guys a follow. Lev, I love you. Nick, love you. Carry the torch today. I know you guys are going to do a fucking incredible job, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, Dean. Before you go, real quick, do you mind accepting the invite, even if you're not going to be
send it to me one more time. Yeah, send it to me one more time.
I don't know if I can. It's
okay.
Might be hard. I hope it's not hard to find.
Well, we'll take it offline. Just send me a text.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Love you both.
And I'll see you soon, Nick.
All right. Thanks, Lev. Thank you both
for
inviting me on.
Take care, guys. And make sure, folks, the number one thing I want you to do today